Hello, welcome to Colette's Chapter 10 problem, GDP and infant mortality in developing countries. I'm going to run a test, and this is kind of a dark subject, so I made a collage of pugs just to get us started off on a lighter note. So here we go. So the table here represents the GDP of developing countries and corresponding infant mortality rates. I'm going to run a test to see if these stats have any correlation between each other. So basically, I'm going to see if there's a correlation, find the p-value, regression, standard error, and make a scatter plot of my data. So first, to illustrate the trend, I'll make my scatter plot. And there you go, I've made my scatter plot. Now I'm going to state my hypothesis, which is, let's do this. Oops, well, okay, we can do that. Equals 0 and does not equal 0. Now to test, I want to find my critical values. And I decided that I want to do this test at a 0.05 level of significance. So before I actually find my critical values, I'm just going to quickly shade in my area. And it's a two-tailed test, and each tail is 0.05 divided by 2, which is 0.025. And to find my critical values, I, on my calculator, do inverse t. And to find my degrees of freedom, I do n minus 2. And remember, n is the number of, or the sample number, which I have as 10. So degrees of freedom is 8. And my area is 0.025. So with that, I get the critical values, negative 2.3 and positive 2.3. And I can go ahead and graph those, which is here and here. So the equation that corresponds with this data is y equals a plus bx, and a is the mean of the data, which is 60.95, and bx is the rate at which it changes, which I found is 0.0032. So it's y equals 60.95 plus 0.0032 of x. And you can find this by going into regressions in your calculator after you've entered it in, and you can even find that r equals 0.21759. And then to find your test value, you use this equation. It's r times the square root of n minus 2 over 1 minus r squared. And if we plugged that in, it would look like this. So that's your test value. And then, of course, if you redraw your graph or go back to it, remember that our critical values were 2.3 and negative 2.3. And you find that 1.827 is right here, which is outside the critical zone. Or the, yeah, critical zone. I like calzones. So yeah, again, since it's outside the critical area, let me make this really big and bold. Do not reject the null, which again says that there's not sufficient evidence to claim that there's a correlation between GDP per capita and infant mortality rates at a 0.05 level of significance. My name is Colette Copic, and thank you for watching.